Good morning. Welcome to another presentation as part of Community Explosions virtual presentation by our vendors. And we're happy that you are joining us today to get some great information about Social Security Administration. And we all need that, especially during these times. If any of us are receiving Social Security benefits or making application for benefits or just have questions about how they can interact with Social Security Administration. We have a very special guest with us today, Liz Odwani, and I hope I didn't slaughter the name that much.
You're fine.
But we're happy to have her with us. So she's the public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration, and she's going to talk to us for a few minutes today about the Social Security Administration, about its purpose, its programs, the things that are going on during this pandemic, how we can still interact with the Social Security Administration. So I'm going to turn it over to her at this moment so she can give us an introduction into what Social Security is, its purpose, and then go into some of the programs. So Liz, thank you for taking the opportunity to be in with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Charles Cheeks. And it is my pleasure to be here. I'm so happy that you're doing this Community Explosions program. The administration was happy to hear about it. That's happening locally. I'm sure it's helping a lot of people, and I hope that this little webinar does too. So thank you so much for having me. So first off, I definitely want to provide everybody an update with what's going on with Social Security operations, just like you stated, during this pandemic. First off, we are, as you're aware, we're not available for in-person contact. So if you're used to going to the Social Security office, the local ones, there's one in every city. There's one in Hampton, of course, Hampton, Newport News, Virginia Beach, all of, Norfolk, all the different offices we have. They're closed right now for in-person. So we're suspended for in-person contact. But if you need to call the local office, you can still do that. You can make your appointment. If you have a question about your benefits, you can give us a call. We are doing everything like normal. We're just not doing in-person because of the pandemic. And we're trying to do, practice safe social distancing, safety guidelines. A lot of the offices are being, we're trying to go ahead and make sure everything is under control before we can open, obviously. So there's a lot of offices that are working on that as well. However, like I said, if you need to contact your local office, you can call us on the website. We have a website. It's socialsecurity.gov or SSA, www.ssa.gov. And remember, you want to go to .gov, not .com, org, net, none of that. You want to go to Social Security or ssa.gov.gov for government. And if you do /locator, www.ssa.gov/locator, you'll be able to put in your zip code and you'll get the local number. Okay, and if you need to mail something in to us, that's fine. You can mail us a form if you need to mail something in. You can call us. We can answer your questions. We could take your claim for you. We could handle any updates that you need. So again, we're fully running. Everybody's receiving their checks. And just remember, now is a busier time than most because of this pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs, right? The unemployment numbers have gone up. And this pandemic is causing a lot of people to think about their disability and see if in the future if they can work with their condition, because they need that money right now, that Social Security money. So a lot of people are filing for Social Security right now, and supplemental security income, which is a program that's also available through Social Security. It's based on need for those that are disabled or older. And then of course we have retirement, right? We have the Medicare program, retirement program, family benefits, and also widows benefits, right? We cover a whole range of different programs. Now, the next slide I'm going to talk about is your Social Security number. Now, Social Security was passed 85 years ago. So what's the purpose of Social Security, right? So that's why I wanted to talk about that. Everybody has a Social Security number, right? And the reason for the number is to track your earnings, okay? It was passed 85 years ago during the New Deal, August 14th, and it was passed by FDR right during the Depression, okay? And this was to help people get out of poverty. It was a pension that was available for those to help them. And Social Security then assigns this 9-digit number, which we still have today, to record a worker's covered wages or self-employment income. And the way you can track it is getting your statement, right? Every year we used to mail you your green and white statement every year, letting you know how, around your birthday, letting you know how much you worked and put into Social Security. Now that's changed because of identity theft. We no longer send you your green and white statements in the mail, but we still have it housed under your account, and you have access to your account. So if you go to socialsecurity.gov, our homepage, and if you do /my account or socialsecurity.gov, if you go to our homepage and you see the link in the middle of the page, it's a little finger pointing with a like a string on it to remind you. You can actually go ahead and create your My Social Security account online, and you can see your statement. And this is great because not only will you be able to see your retirement, your disability, your family benefits, if you're insured for Medicare, so you'll be able to see all of your options there as well. Also, if you have a My Social Security account, you can, if you're planning, when you plan on taking benefits, we have 11 different planners online. And at this time, if you lose your Social Security number, you can actually get your Social Security card replaced online. So if you need your Social Security card, you're over the age of 18 years old, you're a US citizen, and you just need a replacement, you can actually go ahead and do that using your My Social Security account. Because when you start a new job, most employers, they do require you to show your original Social Security card, right? And that's the importance of the number. Also, people use it for all sorts of stuff. And now with the Real ID, with the Virginia requirement for the Real ID, it's also important for people to have their Social Security card. So we have been seeing a huge success rate with this since people can't come in and they don't feel comfortable mailing in their documents. We're seeing about 1,500 to 1,600 successful Social Security card replacements just in Virginia alone. Nationally, obviously, we're looking at 1 million people with bigger cities like California and Texas, bigger states. But just in Virginia alone, we're looking at over 1,600 per week that people are doing this successfully. Now, if you notice when you're working and paying into Social Security, on the next slide, it talks about FICA, right? What is FICA? And FICA stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act. So anytime you're working and you're paying into Social Security, that's the tax, that's that payroll tax that you get taxed. Now, if you don't pay into it, obviously you're not insured for it because it's an insurance, right? Federal Insurance Contributions Act. And again, every check that every time you're working, you're automatically paying into it. So 7.65% is paid by you, by what you're taxed, and then 7.65% is paid by your employer. Because remember, they're also responsible for self-employment and their employees, and they have to match that. Okay, so in reality, when you actually file for benefits in the future, you're looking at 15.3%. Okay, 6.2% of the 7.65% that's being taxed. So the 6.2% is for your money. That's your Social Security money, whether it be retirement, disability, family benefits. 1.45% is for your Medicare. So when you file for Social Security or disability, retirement or disability, if you've worked and paid into Social Security for at least 10 years, and you've paid into the FICA tax, the Social Security tax, on your check, you'll see it as Social Security, OASDI, or you'll still see FICA. Then that means you have insurance for Medicare Part A. So that's a big deal. Most people don't realize that. And FICA, of course, helps fund Social Security retirement, disability, widow's benefits, and Medicare benefits. Now, the next slide after this, I'm just going to highlight how to get a replacement Social Security card. Again, you can do it in most states. You can do it online. All you need is your valid driver's license or a state ID. That's it. And you're a U.S. citizen over the age of 18. When you go in to log into your My Social Security account, of course, you'll have to do a username and password, just like online banking and anything else. And once you create that and you're able to log in, you're going to go over to the tab Replacement Documents. Even though you probably aren't on benefits yet, that is a document that you can replace, right? Your Social Security card. So that's how you would do that. Now, if there's any discrepancy, of course, you can contact your local office. You can mail in the actual application, which you can find on our website, so you don't have to wait for somebody to mail it to you. If you go to our website again, Social Security or ssa.gov/forms, and you put in application for Social Security card, there you go. You have the application on your fingertips. So you don't have to call and wait for the application. If you have access to a computer, you could fill it out right there, print it, and submit your documents. And again, you can mail it. But like I said, most people have been pretty successful with doing it on the website using their My Social Security account. Now, again, if you're not comfortable sending in your driver's license like you would have in the office, if you would have came in, you would have just showed us your license. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can submit a medical document. So if you have any medical records with your name and your date of birth on it, and it's fairly recent and it's an original, we will be able to accept that, because we know many people, they don't feel comfortable, obviously, mailing in their passports or their their driver's license and things like that. Now, the next slide is going to go into fraud a little bit. And I'm going to remind you that your Social Security card is with you forever. Even after you pass away, your Social Security card never gets reassigned to anybody. One of the benefits we offer is widow's benefits, right? So this is for your widow. So you could have passed away, and your survivor, your widow, ex-widow, ex-wife, ex-husband, children, even in some cases, even parents. If a child actually is providing 1/2 support to their parents and that adult child passes away, there's a possibility for parents to get benefits too. So when you get those calls telling you your Social Security number is suspended, just know that you can ignore those calls, because your number never gets suspended. In fact, we ask that you report those calls to oig.ssa.gov/report, because we want to track these calls and where they're coming from. We want to make sure we have your zip code, because the Social Security Administration has partnered up with the Office of Inspector General, OIG, so that they can go ahead and get the people, try to, find the people that have been doing this. And they have been successful. Recently, we heard North Carolina, Atlanta, California, and parts of Texas, they were able to find some people that were doing these types of crimes. So again, Social Security will protect your Social Security number. We keep your records confidential. So we are not going to be giving out your information. Chances are we're not going to ask you for your number. We probably have it. Now, does that mean we won't call you? If you've contacted us for an appointment, for something pending, absolutely, we're going to call you, because we want to provide you customer service, right? However, if you have not contacted us and we're calling you with a recording saying your number's suspended, or you need to give us your Medicare number so we could provide you a free COVID test kit or some free protective gear, just know we wouldn't need your Medicare number if it's free. Right? So just, make sure that you're cautious of those types of calls, especially at this time. Be careful about sharing your number even when you're asked for it. You definitely want to keep your card and documents in a safe place. Do not carry your Social Security card and documents. Now, I will remind you that the Medicare card used to have your Social Security number on it. So it was easy for people to do false medical claims on you. But now the Medicare card is a new alphanumeric number. It is no longer your Social Security number. And anyone who had an old Medicare card before 2019 got a new Medicare card. And we're talking 70 million people on benefits. So that was 70 million people that we sent out new Medicare cards to so that they're not walking around with their social security card and it's a new alphanumeric card. Again, this was to also combat identity theft, right? 3.2 million fraud, identity theft, and other reports are reported to the Federal Trade Commission. So that's 3.2 million reports. Is there more? Absolutely. But do we know about it? No, because we need people to report it. Again, that website to report it is OIG for Office of Inspector General. So that's oig.ssa.gov/report. That means the slide after is what I'm referring to. 1 in 10 people lost money in imposter scams totaling $667 million just in 2019. And since this pandemic, has this number grown? Absolutely. So the next slide is just a reminder to be cautious of suspicious calls and mail. Social Security employees contact citizens if you've contacted us, if you have ongoing business with us. However, we're never going to threaten you. We're never going to arrest or say that you're arrested or legal action, because we're not the police, right? We're not the FBI. So if you get a call like that, hang up. And then, of course, you want to report those calls. And then I do have the link to the reporting link on the bottom of that, which is the OIG for Office of Inspector General. So oig.ssa.gov/report. Definitely report it, because we want to know, we want to know what's going on. Now, the next slide I'm going to highlight is on the My Social Security account. And then the slide after that covers the link. So to create your account, you could do it from any tablet or any smartphone. That's going to be www.ssa.gov/myaccount, which is on the bottom of that slide. Now, again, I do have steps on how to open up your account. So you want to do it using our website, socialsecurity.gov/myaccount. It is free. We are never going to charge you any money for a replacement Social Security card. You can apply for Social Security retirement, disability, Medicare, spousal benefits, supplemental security income benefits, the SSI program. So you can actually apply for all of these applications on our website as well. And if you have a claim pending, let's say you filed for disability or you filed for supplemental security income or retirement or Medicare, and you want to know what's going on with your case, you could actually get the status of your claim online. So again, that saves you a phone call, right? It saves you time on hold. Now, our national line is also available, so you can always give us the call at 1-800-772-1213. Again, you can call your local office Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. Again, using www.ssa.gov/locator. But again, if you have your online account, you can check the status. You could do a lot of the things that you need to do online, like if you got denied for an application and now you need to file an appeal, you could do your appeal online. But again, step 2 of this says that you need to, of course, sign in and create your account. So it's not already done for you. You actually have to go in and do it. And I do have instructions on how to do that. Provide personal information to verify your identity. Of course, we want to make sure it's you. You got to use your username and password, and then you got to have some sort of email or text messaging, a cell phone or an email, so that every time you log in, we send you a code, just like banking, just like anything else, to make sure it's you. Now, the next slide is just saying if you want to add extra security, you can. Again, it is free, but it does cause, you do have to input more information. You can always add it after you've actually created your account, because it might be easier for you to create your account that way. Now, the next slide talks about the statement, and the slide after that is a copy of your statement. Okay, so it shows you what we used to mail out to you. And again, this is available. So if you create your My Social Security account, you'll be able to see your statement online. The next slide is pretty much your benefits. So you definitely want to make sure you're proactive, not reactive, because you never know what's going to happen, especially with COVID. We've seen a lot of deaths, and maybe you know somebody who's passed away as well. So just know they might have a family, and they might be young, and who knows if they're even looking into this. You want to be proactive, not reactive. You definitely want to know what's available to you and your family members, even if as a survivor, Medicare benefits. So it has all of the amounts projected for you based on what you've worked and what you paid into. And the slide after this is the list. of what you worked and what you've paid into. And that's why we've sent this to you every year, and we update it every year because it is based on what you've worked. So if you see that there's a discrepancy, if you see that there's something wrong, and when you match it with your W-2 or with your self-employment, your tax records, you definitely want to contact the Social Security office. Give us a call. Let us know you got to mail something in, and we'll be able to update that for you. But you got to be the one to do it. You got to remember to do it every year. So the next slide is just a quick slide on our calculators. So again, we have planners available to you. Some people, they want to take it late. They want to wait till they're 70. Some people want to take it at 62, their benefits. Some people want to know how long they're going to live and then decide, right? So we even have a life expectancy calculator, which financial planners love, that's available to you. So what they do is they try to figure out how long your parents lived with a natural death, if they passed away with a natural death, and it kind of gives you an idea of how long you might live. So it's there. I mean, we have a lot of calculators, benefits for spouses, depending on when your spouse takes their benefits at their age. So again, it's a lot of tools we have. And then we have the estimators as well. So we have those 11 different calculators that you could actually access even on your My Social Security account, but also from our homepage on the very middle of the page under socialsecurity.gov. You'll see there's one that talks about My Social Security account. And then you'll also see a little calculator in the middle of the page that has an estimator. Now, applying for benefits, of course, you can file online for the retirement, spouse, disability, Medicare, supplemental security income. You can do all of that online. Especially, you cannot file for widow's benefits online, and you cannot file for supplemental security income for a child online, because supplemental security income you can have even for a baby. If you have a baby that was low birth weight and they're going to be in the NICU for more than 30 days, they've never worked. And parents probably are not on benefits yet, so they can't get anything as a dependent. So we have the supplemental security income program that might help with the Medicaid, because even $1 worth of supplemental security income from Social Security will help you get coverage for the Medicaid, which is through social services. So if you have a child that is disabled and they that they're not going to be able, and they're having issues and they're taking medications or whatever the case may be, even if it's a learning condition, definitely go ahead and you can look into it and do a financial screening, because we do look at parents' income if the child lives with the parent before the age of 18, but it helps with Medicaid if they're approved. So there is a financial screening involved. Now, if the child is over 18, you can file for it online through the Supplemental Security Income Benefit through our website using the disability portal. You would go through socialsecurity.gov/disability, and you can go ahead and file for that online if it's an adult child. So the child would have to be 18, and we no longer look at parents' income for that. Again, you could always schedule an appointment with your local office using the locator link, ssa.gov/locator, or you can call 1-800-772-1213. If you're not on benefits, the next slide talks about getting your Social Security card replaced. You can file your application. You could file your appeal if you get denied. If you need proof that you're not on benefits, if you need proof for another service showing that you're not on Social Security, you could actually get your benefit verification online. So that will show that you're not on benefits without you going and calling us. You could get that printed. You could use our calculators, and of course you want to review your statement online. That's very important. And then of course you could check the application status, and it tells you how to do that on the next slide. Your reentry number for an unsubmitted online application or appeal. So you would have to put in your reentry number, the date that you did the application, and then we would be able to give you more information. Additional services, again, if you're on benefits, if you're already on Social Security or Medicare or disability, if you need to update your address, your phone number, your direct deposit, get your 1099 for taxes, get your proof of income letter, get your Medicare card replaced. Again, you want to get your Social Security card replaced. You can do all of that online. And if you're on disability or supplemental security income and you're working, you know, and you need to report your wages every month, right? Because it's based on what you've worked as well. And so if that's the case, you can report those wages using your My Social Security account as well. So again, a lot of different things you can do, and it has the list right there. And you're more than welcome to create your account and be proactive. So that's it for me. I hope this was helpful and was able to provide you some information. So yeah.
That was great, Liz. I even learned a couple of things myself. So
Good.
we thank you for taking the time for being with us this morning. Now getting into the afternoon, but